Hey guys, Jeff here. I am making this video to show a Delta, one of their X5 drum sanders. It's a model 31255X. Yeah, that's right. That's my scratch paper out here in the garage. Just some random thing I got laying around. Anyway, it's 18 inch left to right, and it is, I'm going to give you all the specs real quick. It's a 3300 or a 2210 RPMs on the drum. So there's a belt in here that you can switch over. It's got two sides to the pulley, and you basically switch it over like a drill press to change the speed that the drum turns at. This drum doesn't use like really specialized like some sort of a sleeve sandpaper. It uses, I don't know if you can see it, but it's about 2-inch wide strip that you wrap around in a spiral pattern, and it clamps it to the drum, and it's a pretty good sized drum. I'd say it's probably 4.5 to 5 inches or so in diameter. And this down here, a lot of people might think that this also sands, but it doesn't. It's got some grip. It feels like sandpaper, but that actually just feeds it in against a set of a couple rollers that press down. So you've got this that feeds in, and it's got an independent control here. This little potentiometer. It's an on-off, and when you turn it on, it goes anywhere from 1 to 12 feet per minute, feeding it in. So you can actually change the speed you feed your material in if you want to take like kind of more aggressive cuts, or you have a tougher material or something. And then this right here is the on-off speed for the drum. It's two different motors. The drum feed motor, or the conveyor feed motor is off over here on the side, and the drum feed is down there. It's a 1.5 horsepower, it's 15 amps, I think that's everything. Oh, and the model, if I didn't already say it, no idea if I did, it's 31255X, that's 31-255X, and it's a Delta. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all just basically how to run it, and that it works even with some sandpaper that really could use some replacing. It's not in the best shape, but it's fairly cheap. It's not some massive expenditure, like some specialized drum sleeve of sandpaper would be. So basically the way you adjust the height is right here, and what it does is it actually turns. There's 4 threaded rods. It's a lot like if you've ever seen a Foley bell saw sander, or one of those sander planer molder machines. Woodmaster makes them now, and I know they made some for Craftsman back in the day. And they've got these 4 threaded rods that the hand crank actually turns. Well, on those, the rods turn. On these, actually, the nuts turn and the rods stay stationary. I have this set, hopefully, to take a little cut off of this piece of wood. I don't have dust collection hooked up, so as soon as I do this, the picture's going to get terrible in here. So I'm going to try and only take like really one pass before, after I tell y'all everything that needs to be said. But again, it's got a good bump switch to go off, but you actually just go down here and flip it on, and that's, you can probably hear the motor. It runs really quiet. It's got an awesome belt system in here, and you can see the drum spinning up top. But it's got one of those multi-ridge belts, and the bearings on this. It's a great quality machine. So it runs just quiet as can be, and all you have to do is bump it, and it'll turn right off. And then this, once you get the drum going, you turn it on, and it'll start feeding the material in. And so, and then you just push the material in. And you have to push it a little bit. It'll catch between this paper, this sanding belt. Well, it's not really a sanding belt, but a gripping belt, and the rollers. And so you turn that off. It'll quit feeding. Hit that, and the motor goes right off. This one also, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to tilt the camera down. I'm going to come over here and tilt it down so you can see it's got a rolling base, and that is awesome, man. I love those rolling bases. If you look over there kind of on the left, yeah, boy, that's not easy to point and align your finger. Anyway, so I'm like trying to watch through the viewfinder while I do this. But yeah, so right over there, that foot, you just press down on that and it lifts up that one wheel, and you can just roll it around really easily. And then lift it up and it sits down and it's really stationary and it's a solid platform. So I'm going to tilt that back up and I'm going to go out here. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I can think of. So I'm going to go ahead and make a pass. Always wear my safety goggles. I know this probably doesn't, spit a whole bunch out, but I have a buddy that had to have a cornea transplant, and he's now legally blind in one eye from a little speck of basically nothing more than dust. And I've spent a Christmas morning in the hospital, in the emergency room, because I had a speck of dust in my eye from a Dremel multi-tool. So whatever you do, really protect your eyes, protect your ears too. I mean, if this was much louder, you'd see me with hearing protection on. I'm half deaf because I didn't think, of course when I was a teenager in early 20s, I was invincible and nothing could ever hurt me. So yeah, I did all of my work around power tools, really loud power tools, air compressors, all of that. With no hearing protection, and let me tell you, it sucks to have to ask people to repeat themselves all the time now. So yeah, don't make my mistake and actually wear the right protective equipment. But I'm going to go ahead and feed this in, and hopefully I've got this set right, and I'll try and make a couple cuts here. But I just took a Sharpie and I made some marks, just kind of going across here. And I'm going to go ahead and run that through, and you should see these marks kind of disappear gradually. So let's turn on the drum and the conveyor, and I'm going to feed it fast. So there we go. Yeah, I had that set just entirely wrong. Okay, so that's what happens when you absolutely set the tension on that way wrong because you didn't want to create a huge sawdust cloud in your garage. Yeah, that was way more of an aggressive cut than I was thinking, and it kind of bogged down a little bit. But the cool thing is y'all get to see that motor can actually handle it. The feed motor and the drum motor, so that's definitely cool. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set it up, and I'm going to, I think I'm just going to take one more pass on the back side, and let's see if we can get rid of the standard writing there. Yeah, this is just a cheap piece of plywood, so it might not feed just totally smoothly. I made the biggest mess of sawdust, so yeah. So let's flip it back on. And if you hear that clunking in there, yeah, and that was a really nice cut. That clunking in there is the rollers that actually hold the wood down. That's the noise it's supposed to make. So the wood, you have to push it in, and that roller is kind of down here, and it pops up, and then is pressing down on the wood, and that's what gets it to feed all the way through. So yeah, let's see if we can see that. That's nice and clean. It took that right off, so both sides are now clean. Let's, since we're here, we'll just do a few more. Okay, so we made some Sharpie marks there. We'll mark both sides. I may or may not do two sides. Here we are. Like so. And let's feed it through again. Clap. There we go. There we go. It didn't take it quite all off, but I bet if I made one more pass it would. So we're going to go the other dark side right here. And we're going to just feed it right through again. And that's a real light cut because I completely forgot to adjust the depth. go. Let's feed it through. It didn't quite take too much off, so we're gonna feed it through one more time. I've got sawdust all over that belt, so the wood will slip a little bit if you leave all the fine sawdust right there, because that's supposed to have grip. And if it fills up with sawdust, you really need dust collection on this, like badly. But yeah, so that's the other side, and we took all the marks off. It actually went through to the first layer. That's glue right there. But yeah, so you can see it works, and we took this down. I mean, it's about half the thickness it was now. And I am about to start like choking on the sawdust in here. But yeah, that's it. You can see that everything works. It creates a just ton of sawdust. But what you can't see on the back side is there's like a pile of sawdust where this thing was. That's why if you saw it slip a little bit, that's because if the sawdust gets in here and it fills up this basically sandpaper, it doesn't have any grip. And so no matter how much the rollers push down, if this is smooth, it's gonna just slide right on the bottom of that wood. And so you really do want dust collection on this. You don't want it just coming down and just caking this paper like it has right now. But anyway, well, hope you enjoyed it, and that's how they work. Take care, guys.